And here it is. It is happening. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Yes, it is happening. I am here. I hope you are as well. If you are around, then just spend however long you can spare with the session as we discuss all matters Nigeria related. You know what we do here. So we're doing that thing that we do here yet again. So if you're chanced, as I said, then just surrender yourself to the space for however long the session lasts. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Savior, holy, 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 Aregbesola, another Savior, holy, 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 Aregbesola, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 holy. Another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika, yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamakele mazuche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 holy. It's another Savior.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Aregbesola, another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Aregbesola, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 it's another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 it's another Savior. Holy, holy, holy. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 it's another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 Biafra's to victory. Inyomadika, Yabika Kokwanam no. Hey, Anamekele Mazuche Mefo. One more. It's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along. Holy, holy, Nandeka. It's another Savior. Just sing along. Holy, holy, Nandeka. It's another Savior. When I sing along. Holy, 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 holy. It's another Savior. Getting it right and getting it fast now. It's another Savior.
There you heard it. Voices from the East. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. So that is the gospel from the East. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. As guys, I bring you this. Nigerians should be thankful Buhari is doing them big favors as president. Yemi Osinbajo speaking. Nigerians should be thankful Buhari is doing them big favors as president, a headline attributed to Yemi Osinbajo. So now, the second story which we're going to spend a lot of time on is this part that has just opened up, initiated by Aregbesola in Osun State against Tinubu. Of course, we all heard the verbal assault that he launched against Tinubu just a couple of days ago. So the backlash and the fallout from that are 165 billion naira prison funds. Reps probe Aregbesola days after attacking Tinubu. So the rep leader himself, Gbajabiamila, a Tinubu stalwart and a loyalist. So we've been asking who's going to leap to Tinubu's defense, and it looks as though they are queuing up to do exactly that. 165 billion naira prison funds. Reps probe Aregbesola days after attacking Tinubu. So now the empire strikes back. The empire strikes back. Tinubu for President 2023. Sunset on Rauf Aregbesola's political career. So it looks as though they are already burying him in the headlines. So quite what led to that audacious headline, we'll find out just shortly. Tinubu for President 2023. Sunset on Rauf Aregbesola's political career. So quite what's in play there, we find out fairly shortly. Decision on disgraced cop Abakari delayed by flawed police report, says Police Service Commission. So flawed police report, you can read into that, a cover-up. So it looks as though they were attempting to cover up that space. So quite what is in play there, shortly we find that out as well. But before we find anything out, we come in via Yoruba land, Herbert Ogunde, as he visits London.
Àgbà kì í ṣòro bí ewé. Àgbà kì í ṣòro bí ewé.
And there you heard it, the voices of Herbert Ogunde. So the voices of our Herbert Ogunde, guys, I bring you this. Nigerians should be thankful Buhari is doing them big favors as President Yemi Oshibanjo leaps to his master's self-defense. Our Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo on Wednesday says Nigerians have a lot to be thankful for by having President Muhammadu Buhari as their president, saying the Nigerian leader has been doing the country a great favor by being honest and incorruptible. We are very fortunate that God gave us a leader like President Muhammad Buhari at the time we are facing, Mr. Oshibajo said, whilst meeting with a group of entertainers from the northern region at the State House. And the reason why I say so is because, you see, if we don't have a steady hand, matured person who understands a lot of things and who is respected by the people, there will be more chaos and we won't even know where this will end. We must continue to thank God that at least we have a leader who is considered honest all over the country. Everybody knows that he's a man of his words. No matter where you are in the country, you know that he's a man of his words. You know he's honest and you know he's not stealing the resources of the country, the vice president added. Daolu Osinbajo, a spokes. So that's actually, so that's one of his spokespersons, by the way, Laolu Osinbajo. So already, I don't think Osinbajo is a common name in Yoruba land. So that tells you, keep it in the family sort of narrative. Laolu Osinbajo, a spokesman for the vice president, who released transcripts of the meeting, said it was attended by several top-rated Kannywood personalities led by Adamu Dauda. We are still fighting insurgency, Boko Haram insurgency, and ISWAP. Then we have banditry here and there in the northwest and things like that. All these have all these have occurrences in the life of a nation. Every nation runs into trouble, but it is the government at the time that must take the responsibility. Mr. Oshibanjo further stated. The comment came as Nigerians were lamenting worsening economic hardship and insecurity, with Mr. Buhari promising but failing repeatedly to contain the crisis. Whereas the regime said it lifted 10.5 million Nigerians out of poverty, the World Bank said 7 million Nigerians dropped below poverty line due to the worsening inflation in the country in 2020. Rising inflation rates have sent prices of food and commodities through the roof as the nation's central bank battles foreign exchange crises. Mr. Buhari has also come under fire for his inability to rein in the excesses of armed groups across the country, including the bandits' occupation of communities, mass abduction of school children, amongst other emergencies. Despite purchasing multi-billion dollar weapons and fighter jets with a promise to eliminate armed bandits and Boko Haram terrorists, Nigerians have decried the lack of tangible results overall. Earlier in February, ruling APC members took turns to lambast Mr. Buhari's lazy approach to resolving the nation's worsening insecurity. It is indeed a national disgrace that this thing is happening on a daily basis. I remember last year alone, there was a supplementary appropriation. Adamu Alero, an APC senator from Kebbi, stated. The senator added, we approved over 865 billion naira, and this year's budget, I know we have close to about 1 trillion naira, and we are getting little in terms of the outcome. Senate President Ahmed Lawan was also Senate President Ahmed Lawan was also unsparing, urging Nigerian military to wake up and protect Nigerians. The expectation of the Senate is that there is supposed to be a remarkable difference in the success in terms of the fight against insurgency, banditry, and militancy in Nigeria. Mr. Lawan said, when we declared the bandit as terrorists, my understanding was they are going to be dealt with ruthlessly now. I wonder whether that is the case. Still, Mr. Osinbajo, who seeks to succeed Mr. Buhari, said the administration has performed beyond expectation, a position he would likely emphasize when campaign season opens later in the year. So painting black as white as only a lawyer can. Painting black as white, but that's painting being done in human blood. 165 billion naira prison fund. Reps probe Aregbesola days after attacking Tinubu. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has revealed that the House has commenced a probe of the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola. Correspondents report that the Minister and Prison Chief, Hilaru Nababa, have been accused of misappropriating about 165 billion naira funds earmarked for the development of prisons. In Nigeria, the House on Wednesday resolved to probe the duo following a motion of urgent public importance moved by the minority leader of the House, Honorable Ndidi Elumelu. Pardon me, I'm just trying to scroll to the. Okay, he said the house is disturbed that he said the house is disturbed that despite this act and increase in budgetary allocations to the Nigerian Correctional Service to drive its renewed mandate, the tempo and quality of the service have remained the same, if not retrogressing. The house is worried that the working conditions of staff and inmate welfare have deteriorated, notwithstanding the over 165 billion budget allocation to the service in the last 2 years. Following the motion, the Committee on Reformatory Institutions was tasked to probe the allegation and report back to the House in a week, in 10 weeks' time, or is that 1 week? It doesn't say. Correspondents report that the probe is coming days after Aregbesola had lambasted national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC Bola Tinubu, who is seen as the political leader of Gbajabiamila. Recall that Aregbesola had on Monday said Tinubu, who he had once trusted politically, betrayed him. The former governor of Osun State lamented Tinubu's involvement and lackadaisical attitude towards the poor governance of the incumbent Osun State, Boyega Oyetola. Aregbesola accused Tinubu and former APC interim chairman and ex-governor of Osun State, Bisi Akonde, of foisting Oyetola on the people against the popular will. The minister frowned at the development and declared that enough is enough for the politics of the minister frowned at the development and declared that enough is enough for the politics of godfatherism and enthronement by treacherous leaders who equate themselves to the status of a god. So there it is, right there. The fight back against Aregbesola has now started to take shape. We saw the Oba throw a stick at him, throw a stone at him just yesterday, and now Gbajabiamila looking to whack him with the big stick. So still with that narrative, Tinubu for President 2023, sunset on Rauf Aregbesola's political career. Nigeria's Minister of Interior, Rauf Adesoji Aregbesola, is no doubt a grassroots politician, Islamic scholar, and a self-styled comrade. He was one of Bola Tinubu's greatest ally, right-hand man, and prime enforcer. That was until the center could not hold between the duo in recent months. Aregbesola's decades of support and political yeoman jobs for Bola Ahmed Tinubu earned him the Works and Infrastructure Commissioner uninterruptedly for 8 years, 1999 to 2007, in Lagos State, and apex political leadership in the Alimosho Federal constituency of Lagos State, and a two-term governorship of Osun State, all on the graces, contacts, and financial might of Tinubu. After his stint as governor, he attempted to come to Lagos State to take up Lagos West senatorial seat. He was casually resisted by the then Governor Akewumi Ambode and other Lagosians, who rightly counseled Tinubu that a former governor from another state should not come and take such an important position to the detriment of indigents and politicians domiciled in the state. Tinubu's spouse, Senator Remi Tinubu, openly counseled Aregbesola on his thank you tour to Tinubu's Lagos residents after his gubernatorial tenure to stay put in Osun and grow the party. In other words, he is a distraction in Lagos politics. This action by Ambode and other well-meaning inner caucus of Tinubu drew the ire of Aregbesola, who vowed to stop Ambode's second-term bid. He conscripted the late Senator Bayo Ashi. He conscripted the late Senator Bayo Oshinowo Pepper. So that is his nickname, Pepper. Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Lagos State Speaker, Senator Solomon Adeola Yayi. So those last words, that their nickname, Tayo Ayinde, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's chief of staff, Cardinal James. So he conscripted a lot of people from his political enclave, the Mandate Group, and a host of others to convince a gullible Tinubu that Ambode was trying to supplant Asiwaju as the new numero uno in Lagos politics. They succeeded, and Tinubu decided to drop Ambode in favor of a grateful Sanwo-Olu. However, in a twist and turn of events, Aregbesola began to work with the late Oshinowo, A.K. Pepper, and his other co-travelers on how to supplant Tinubu as leader in Lagos politics. Immediately Tinubu sensed this. Immediately Tinubu sorry, pardon me. Immediately Tinubu sensed this Aregbesola-led power-stripping gang. He dissolved the Mandate Group alongside other groups in Lagos All Progressive Congress APC. He derobed Alhaji Abdullahi or Onilolobo, who Aregbesola in the meeting made Mandate's new state chairman. Asiwaju severed all ties with Garulus Oshinowo, and this must have accelerated his demise. Also, Asiwaju cut off Aregbesola, who had also begun to nurse presidential ambitions. He saw through Oshinowo's leakage of Lagos House of Assembly vouchers to implicate Speaker Obasa and by extension himself. Tinubu slowly but steadily has begun to squeeze out and whittle down Aregbesola's influence in his Alimosho stronghold by promoting H.E. Adegoke, the remnant of the Justice Forum and anti-Aregbesola elements in the constituency. Meanwhile, the Osun State Governor, Gboyega Oyetola, was also directed by Tinubu to decisively deal with and demystify Aregbesola by rolling back all his popular policies, to the glee of many indigents in the state, of leaving spring. The rest, as they say, is history. Aregbesola is now fighting for his political life in Osun State. He has lost control of the APC party structure in the state, and all the cases he has filed in court have been thrown out with ignominy. The APC National Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee recognized Oyetola faction, and Oyetola is set to clinch the APC ticket despite the tantrums of Aregbesola and his diminishing supporters. The governor has the backing of all men of worth in the state, to the chagrin of Aregbesola and his co-travelers. It is indeed ironical that within just 3 years, the same evil that Aregbesola perpetrated against Ambode and uncountable others is being visited on him by God, who does not forget, who rewards according to actions and inactions. Retributive justice can be swift and decisive as the sun begins to set on Aregbesola's political career. So there you have it. So there you have it. There is more to this, but this just charts the trajectory of the narrative. A lot of this we've already read in previous sessions. So let's see. Tinubu's political beneficiary, Aregbesola, lambasted him, Akonde Oyetola others at APC rally. Pardon me, Rauf Aregbesola, a former ally of APC strongman and 2023 presidential hopeful Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has decided to openly extricate himself from the group. Aregbesola, who is the Minister of Interior and former Governor of Osun State, was in the state on Monday to meet his supporters in respect of the governorship election. Below are excerpts of his speech. So these are direct words from him. I am happy that we sent for you all and you honored our invitation. Those we specifically asked to be invited here are party leaders from the ward level to the state. They are critical stakeholders, and I am certain they are the ones here. Although some who are not with us would be here also, the informants to the other camps. But we are no longer afraid of no one at this stage except God. You are at liberty to listen to whatever we say here and go share with them over there. I am happy you are here. However, if we have to throw the cards open and start all over again, this party is ours. Let me repeat myself for clarity. This is the core Afenifere, a progressive group that genuinely loves the people, the society, and also loves itself. I am not talking about cosmetized good. This is Awolowo's group. It is Bola Ige's group. It is also Baba Akonde's group before he partly left us. We joined you in this same group in 2004, the group we labored in pain and anguish to put together from 2004 to 2010. November 26, before the court gave us victory. This is the same group, therefore, stop calling yourselves a faction. You are the main APC. Let me put it more succinctly. If our great leaders who had passed on had the opportunity of returning to this life, it is this same party they would join. They would not join a party that is not theirs. It is almost impossible for Bola Ige to return to the same life and refuse to be part of this party. It will be very difficult. It would be impossible for Papa Awolowo too to come back to this life and elect to join another party in Osun other than ours. It will be difficult. And those of us who are still living are also here in the same party. There is no latter day member here. Everybody here started with us from day one. Even if some have left at some point, we knew why they left. There is no one here who did not suffer with us. That is the summary of my submission. that they have returned to where they've always belonged, and to also return the party to where it should be, because we had hitherto followed the instructions of our leader, whom we thought was true to type. We followed and served this leader with all our might. In fact, our loyalty to him had caused some people to start wondering if we were no longer Muslims, but we were with him and served him according to the admonitions of our forefathers, who said when serving anyone, we should do so with sincerity and loyalty, that if you regard anyone as your principal, you must serve him wholeheartedly. Sadly, we did not know that whilst we wished him well, he did not think good for us. However, because we placed him higher than where he ordinarily should be, he started to think he's our God. Unfortunately for him, we had sworn to God that whoever compares himself to him, we'd beg him to bring down such a fellow. God says he does not have a rival. And if you heard what I said in Arabic, God said he is God and he did not have to start procreate. God said, God said he does not have a rival. And if you heard what I said in Arabic, God said he is God and he did not have to start procreating before he will assume his place as God, that only humans procreate. You are the ones who attach importance to procreation. As God, he does not need a child to dwell in his glory. He does not need a family member or younger siblings to regale in his majesty, that he does not even need a group to be who he is, that he is God and that is who he is. So whoever puts himself in place of God, well, let him be his own God. With suffering, pain, and perseverance, we nurtured this party to this stage it is. With sweat, tears, blood, and even lost lives. It is by God's grace that someone like me did not pay the supreme price too. Many may those who lost their lives to the struggle find peace with the Lord. Tough as it was, we did not seek revenge. We took our government on November the 27th, 2010, and by the 28th, we announced that whoever sought revenge would be struck down by God. We only handed over to God. Those who made us suffer after we served for 8 years, it wasn't only party members that benefited from our administration. The entire state did. I went everywhere in Osun with projects. However, by the time my successor was handed over to me around July or May 2018, I was told, Rauf, this is the ideal successor that would stand by you. He would further showcase your efforts. He would not betray you. He would not dim the light of your glory. That was what the person who handed him over to me said. If the person is listening to me, it would resonate with him if he said so or not. But he did so, but did he do as he vouched for? And when he reneged on these promises, did the person who handed him over to me draw his attention to these failings? Anyway, isn't the person the one we now see today? Meanwhile, we are here at this station on three grounds. And if we go about it honestly, we would never regret this. First, God detests hypocrisy, that he is above all things, but hypocrisy he'd never go close to. However, our prophet said, assist the hypocrite and the victim of hypocrisy. But when asked to clarify the logic behind such statement, he answered and said, listen, it is possible for a hypocrite not to know he is one. However, those of you around should endeavor to join forces with the victims of hypocrisy to prevail over the hypocrite, and that way you would have assisted the hypocrite to change his ways. That is the first reason we are here. And once we can do that, we would be good to go and they would be losers. It is God's commandment. Second, we are the ones looking after the people in every way possible. However, those we put into position of authority to drive the project of caring for the people have since abdicated this responsibility, and we would never share and we would never share space with such fellows. God says whoever is against the needy is his enemy. To that extent, we have to move away from these people because we cannot, because of our association with them, offend God. If we stick to this, we will prevail. The third reason is the things we did that the people wanted, which unfortunately this man has turned away from, and which formed the pride of our government, and which has been the thrust of our party since the days of Awolowo. We would not sit by and watch a fellow who had no clue about this task destroy our efforts. We will never assist such a fellow. In a worst case scenario, we would move away from them. Interestingly, so that, by the way, is a cross party thing, it's a party crossing thing. So, at the worst case scenario, we'll move away from them. So, essentially, moving what is left of his structures to the PDP. We will never assist such a fellow. In a worst case scenario, we would move away from them. Interestingly, in every group, everyone has a right to their choices. But in making those choices, you must be sure a majority of the members align with you. It is possible some share your ideals, and it is also possible some do not. This happened in Lagos recently. There was a governor who wanted to seek re-election, and the party declined and showed him the way out with their votes. So the same way it was in Lagos then is exactly the way it is in Osun today. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. It cannot be the turn of your younger brother now and you change the rules. So that is the back and forth of the Aregbesola Tinubu, now Gbajabiamila, and the Obas in the Osun State battle. So how that plays out, we will see. So we land finally on this. Decision on disgraced cop Abba Kyari delayed by flawed police report, says Police Service Commission. So you can read flawed police report to mean attempted cover-up. The Police Service Commission PSC on Wednesday says that the investigative report submitted by the Nigeria Police Force on one of its embattled members, Abba Kyari, is filled with many loopholes. The commission, which earlier ordered the force to conduct a fresh probe with a different panel on the Super Cup and submit another report within 2 weeks, maintained that it must submit a fresh report within the given time frame. Ikechukwu Ini, the commission spokesperson, on Thursday explained that the commissioners, led by Musiliu Smith, a retired Inspector General of Police, would take another decision if the loopholes still reflect in the new report. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, had set up a probe panel to investigate Kyari over allegations by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States that he, Kyari, has links with internet fraudster Raymond Abbas, popularly known as Hush Puppy. The panel, led by Joseph Egbenike, a Deputy Inspector General of Police at the Force Headquarters Abuja, submitted its report to the IGP, which was later submitted to the Police Service Commission. Not satisfied with the report, the PSC at its last plenary returned the report and ordered that the police should set up a different panel to investigate the matter. But responding to inquiries on whether the PSC had abandoned the first report, hence its resolve for a new report, the commission said it has not abandoned the report. saying the fresh probe panel is directed to fill all the loopholes the report has. Jettisoned, we have not jettisoned the report. We now said they need to do more work. There are loopholes, there are gaps that a new panel should handle and need told correspondents. He added, when they do that and bring it to us, we will now take a decision on demand. The commission noticed there are gaps. There are more investigations they wanted to be concluded before they can take a definite decision on demand. We gave them 2 weeks to do that. When asked what the commission would do if there are still further loopholes in the subsequent report to be submitted, and he said, you know, you are asking me a question I don't know. You know, I am not a member of the commission. They brief me after their meetings. If there are further loopholes, the commission will look at it and make a decision, and they will tell me. So there you have it. Essentially, the Police Service Commission is essentially accusing the Nigerian police force of covering up for this just variously crooked policeman. So there it is. Ajanle Koko, I see you. Charlie Boy, I see you. And you and UK. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just scroll up. And Charlie Boy, I see you. And UK, I see you. So good to see you all, gentlemen. So let's go first then to UK. UK. So now it looks as though the police commission, so it looks as though the police service commission, from the reading of that, they are pointedly accusing the Nigerian police force of a cover-up in the Abakari matter. So they've tasked them to submit a report regarding Abakari, and the report was so lopsided and so watery that the Police Service Commission had to send it back to the police. So if the police cannot conduct an investigation at that level of request, is either they are not fit for purpose or they are covering up something. So it looks as though now the cover up for Abakari is not something that is going to go away. UK.
Yeah, well, one man. Good morning. This is
Good,
the morning now. Me, I
good
just came.
afternoon.
Yeah, I worked last night, but I just came back. I said, let me log in. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, the viewers. Please try to hit the like button and share. What I want to say, one man, this, the institution now, the police institution in Nigeria is full of corruption now. So there's no time they will do something, and based on what have happened, you see, they have been always. I mean, they know what that man did is wrong, but just that he's Fulani, doing everything. So they want to cover their people, and they can never want to surrender him. For the fact the FBI are already, say that this man, they are looking for him. He committed something. So he did, because they have been trailing him maybe over 10 years or even 20 years, because nobody really know when he started. But for the fact he's in the gang, all these drug cartel. So it's a very long thing that they have been doing. But for the fact these people say they want him, I believe, yes, he committed those things. And our people now, or their people, who don't want to give him up, because they believe that he's the super cop. They believe that he's working for them, and the kind of work he's doing for them is not like a good job. I mean, all those dirty jobs, they will send him, he will go and do, So for me, I mean, he must face the music,
Yeah, he must face the music, but is
Yes.
he going? I don't think he can escape anyway, because there's just too many allegations. A lot of them fairly verifiable. The FBI is big enough an allegation. The drug thing is just too big, and then all the allegations in between. This guy is a crooked cop. But by the way, he's suspended, not dismissed. But you would say he should be suspended pending a final outcome. But I cannot see how this guy can escape
Yeah,
what
yeah,
where he finds himself,
yeah. Because
even in Nigeria.
yeah, look at. Could you imagine somebody they say that they suspended him and he still have the guts to show that nobody can do anything. That I mean he's above the law. Could you imagine somebody who they allege that he has something to do with hush puppy, and they ask you to
Is
stay
going to
that.
carry out cocaine deals at the
Exactly,
airport.
you still have the guts to tell Nigerians or to tell the government, we are the one that, I mean, which means this government belongs to us, so we can do whatever thing we want to do. Nobody will say anything. So that's exactly, I mean, you're just throwing, that shit into every Nigerian. Could you imagine from the hierarchy, even from the man who sent him to do the job, to tell the man that you are nothing, I can do whatever thing I want to do, then I'll get away with it. So you can't do anything. So nobody can tell me what to do.
Yeah,
That's exactly what is going on.
But
So for the fact, I mean, all those things, yeah, I mean, they will. I mean, he can't get through. I mean, they can never allow him. I mean, if they like, let them keep.
I think within the next 2 weeks they will recommend his dismissal. So they're saying it could be reabsorbed, but I don't see that. There's just too many. It's just too
I think,
public and
I
too
think,
glaring. Yeah.
I think if these people were once they give Nigerian government sanction, I think they will release him. I
So
mean,
I think the Police Service Commission is going to recommend his dismissal and prosecution. So they will dismiss him, but will they prosecute him is the question.
well, you're right. So for the fact there are people are still there, but I know that even if he feel that, but that man can never go scot free. I mean, that's all I want to say in this.
but
Just
also,
look at all the people he has killed. So many people. They said his brother was the one that was using to handle money. From Hush Puppy alone, this guy got this is it. How internet fraudster Hush Puppy's gang paid 235 million into account of Abakari's brother. So just from that angle alone, close to a quarter of a billion. It's just a hardened criminal. But Jake, you wanted to say?
yeah, but I'm also surprised he's the only one. All politicians in Nigeria do that. They're the same thing. They all do that. All the politicians, even the guy in Imo State is a criminal, but he's the governor of Imo State.
Oh, there you are.
One man,
Yeah.
just my wife is calling me. Just
All right. Let me give you a moment.
Can I
So,
go?
yeah. Go on then. So yeah, you were saying that well, all politicians in Nigeria. So we know that, but everybody is a thief, but everybody is a crook, but it's whoever they catch is a thief. That is what we say in Nigeria. Everybody is a crook,
But I'm
but whoever
happy
they
that it's
catch is a
happening.
thief.
That shows all the politicians that if you're a criminal, you can't go to America. I'm happy America doing that. But the criminal party sent to the lesson. The criminal party.
Forget about this America. You have a lot of faith in America. America is just a crooked country.
I know, but I'm happy that teaching all these politicians, criminals in Nigeria that you can't get scot free. I'm happy they're doing this. They'll teach them a lesson. They stop doing the criminals stealing money and doing drugs.
All right, thank you, Charles. So the next talking point, I'm not really sure that you would know much about it because it's quite a specific. Do you know anything about the Aregbesola and Tinubu narrative?
No,
you don't. I
but
didn't
I
expect
want to talk about. I was going to talk about Namikawa yesterday, but you guys were too.
Okay, go on then. Tell us about Nandekano.
Yeah, I think I think Namikawa. I think the Nigeria illegal kidnapping from Kenya. They know what they did. Nigeria kidnapping from Kenya, but Nigeria don't want to say the truth. They're kidnapping illegal. How you can kidnap a citizen, and also disagree yesterday when you guys saying Namikawa is not a citizen of Nigeria. I disagree. When you guys were saying that he's a Biafran, no.
So what is he?
I think he's a Biafran. I think Biafra is a country. That's what I believe. It's a country that was formed before Nigeria became Nigeria.
Where are you getting that? Who told you that?
See, because what Thomas is saying yesterday was
Biafra is an idea. It's not a place. It's an idea.
That's false. What Thomas said about Biafra is false. You shouldn't say that. That's
Which is
false.
what? Which is what?
You get as I said. Do you know the southeast Nigeria was part of Cameroon? Nigeria was illegal, forced to become a country illegally. They were forced to
Yes,
become a
we
country
know that
illegally.
Nigeria was carved out of yes, so we know that.
So Biafra, in my opinion, could become a country.
It could become, but it never was though. There was never a place called Biafra, so it never existed.
The woman, the
So if you go
Soviet.
and check the history books, you will not
If you look
find
at
a
if
place
you look
called
at the
Biafra.
Soviet Union, that's a good example. Look at the Soviet Union; it's a good example.
A good example of what?
I like Ukraine used to be part of Russia. So
Mm-hmm.
Moldova used to be part of Russia. Ask yourself, why is Ukraine now from the own country? Ask that question.
All
Why is
right.
that?
And what are you concluding from
Yeah,
that?
one man.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah. Go on.
What of that part of the map that used to be, is it the bite of Biafra? When you go down, close to, like, I think it was between that the Niger Delta. I think it's close to, like, Satume Principe. When you go below now, there's a place they used to call the bite of Biafra. Why do they take it away from this thing, from our map?
Well, you know that bite of Biafra. Do you know how far it runs? It's quite a
I
stretch,
know it covers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it covers. It runs through.
It almost.
It runs through Nigeria to Equatorial Guinea. I think
Mhm,
all the way to part of Gabon, then come some part of Cameroon.
mm,
Because I know it's a very, though the territory was controlled by the Portuguese,
mm,
because of the Satome Principe,
mm.
the Satome. So those areas, the whole area used to be the bite of Biafra. You know. So
Okay, but I suspect that might well be a localized name for the river that runs through it. It was also called the Bight of Benin, the Bay of the Atlantic.
mm,
So it has several names, and like you rightly said, it runs almost the expanse all the way to Gabon.
mm.
So I'm not quite sure. But it wasn't a country; it was just a river.
No, no, no. You can.
Well,
That's
I think
Yeah.
I would say maybe it's from there that the Ojuku, they get the name,
Yes,
to
yes,
say is Biafra.
yeah.
So I mean that's all I can say about
no,
that.
no.
Yeah,
Actually,
but I think Charles is romanticizing with the notion that there was actually an actual country called
no,
Biafra.
no,
But
no. The one.
it's a concept. It's to come, but it's not yet
And
been.
listen,
Yeah.
mommy. Do you know if you type slavery, it says Biafra, slave from Biafra. If you
Mm,
type it, do you know that if you type slave from Africa, it says Biafra. I
right.
I was surprised when I saw that.
And why would you type that? And what are you getting from that?
No,
What
I'm
what
just
what does that add to your
no,
knowledge?
no, no, I'm just trying to say that Biafra was a thing back then.
It wasn't a country though.
Nigeria wasn't a country
I mean,
back then.
it's like saying River Niger,
Okay, one man.
or the Atlantic. Yeah,
Yeah, can I say something?
yeah, gone.
If it's not a country, why did they make the money? During the war, the Biafra. At least I've seen the money before.
Yes,
They have
I'm going to
Biafran.
try and buy one as well. I think we can still buy it on eBay because I'm collecting all those things. So
Yes, because we
I'll go
have
and buy it.
we have
Yeah.
this thing. So with that money, I think any country that have money, I think it's a country now because they were
Mm,
trading with that money.
mm,
Trading that things didn't work out the way they planned. But
mm.
what do you talk about it for the fact they have no money and they were using that money during that time? So what do you why is
No,
it that it's not
they
a
had
country?
the money in that narrow slot of
Mm-hmm.
I think about a year or two into
Yes.
their insurrection. But that money, it wasn't an internationally traded
Okay.
money,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
don't think it was globally accepted.
Okay.
It's no more than cowrie beads. You know how they used to have cowrie as currency. That's essentially what it was, some localized thing just to recoil from the Nigerian state. But it's not something that is you know, it's not. It didn't have a exchange to dollar value for.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
looking at
right.
the money too.
Eh?
Yeah.
It was just
Eh,
symbolic, uh,
yes.
just to show that, oh, we
Uh,
have our own nation, so we have our own currency. Nigerian train that are in Biafran land, they took over it, they changed it to Biafra, they color it Biafran, and it's just to show that, oh, we have founded our own nation, our own country. So that money was not internationally recognized. It was just within that Biafran.
It's no more than cowries, isn't it? Just cowries. That's what.
It's just symbolic purpose and to start something. I mean, just to detach themselves from Nigeria and start something from there. You know, it was just it was an attempt, you know, to succeed, but they didn't know whether it's going to be possible or not. You know, if Biafra if Biafra had seceded away from Nigeria, yeah, they would have had their money now. They would have been recognized as a nation. But since they failed, so the money just died. It just died within that territory.
It's just like, you know, those Mickey Mouse dollars that they use as so not to call it Mickey Mouse, but you know, the reason why I'm just staying with Charles is that Charles seems to have the idea that there was a country called Biafra that was broken up or done away with, and they are trying to resurrect it. So what I am trying to explain to Charles, just so he moves his mind away from that, is that Biafra is an idea, you know, that they are trying to evolve into a country, but it wasn't a country that ever existed. It's an idea that that the East essentially are trying to evolve into a sovereign state. So that's the narrative. There was never a country called Biafra.
Same with Nigeria. Nigeria wasn't a country before 1960.
Yes, no, that's accepted. But do you understand that though? That there would never been a country called Biafra.
I know,
but it might well come in the future with the way things
are. Also,
accept
Nigeria wasn't a country before 1960.
Of course, Nigeria is still not a country. A lot of people will tell you. Awolowo described it as just a geographical expression.
Yeah, one man. Can I say something about the? I think you said something about the Yoruba.
The Aregbesola, the battle between Aregbesola, Tinubu, and now Gbajabiamila.
Yeah, but do you know that these our people now? I mean, I know those guys. They were born. Most of them, they were alive when Awolowo was trying to make Yoruba land better. But why is it that they can't follow the footsteps of Awolowo? Because they are all criminals, you know? Because it's like, I mean, they enjoy the scholarship or the free education that Awolowo brought in Yoruba land. But now it is their turn for them to lead. All they care about is just to destroy and to make sure that they suffer the indigenes, you know. But during their own time, they enjoy, and that enjoyment they don't want to pass it to the next generation. You know, look at how they are fighting. But that Awolowo, you know, they are hailing. It was a human being like them who knew what his people wanted, and he worked for it. And he provided them all those, you know, laid those plans down, and they don't want to follow it. Or they want to just come in and start stealing money, you know, keep impoverishing their people, you know, fighting because if not the money involved now, you won't see all of them coming out for the politics, you know. But those ones who did the politics and did it well and make a provision, because I think without Awolowo, Yoruba people won't be enjoying whatever thing they are enjoying, because Awolowo, you know, paved the way, you know, for their people and make them to, you know, open their eyes, tell them that education is the key, which a lot of them, and he made it very easy for them, you know, compared to other regions of Nigerians who didn't do as Awolowo. And, you know, from my own thinking and from my own view, I think Awolowo, if had it been they gave Awolowo chance to be a president of Nigeria, I think he would have bettered the whole country. That country, the country wouldn't have been into this mess, you know, because I think based on the narrative people always say about, you can see what is really going on based on Nnamdi Kalu too. Because what Nnamdi Kalu is shouting is to make the whole country so that everybody will enjoy. I think it was the same thing. Now I begin to read those things that some Igbo, they will say that Awolowo, do this. He was a one man, and he cannot challenge the federal government, because they are the one that tell him do that, and if you don't do it, they will lock him up or they will kill you. I mean, you can begin to see the correlation between what Nnamdi is fighting and what Awolowo was fighting. You see, because the people, they don't those people who are in power, they don't want other people to enjoy. Could you imagine a country where you don't? Okay, let me just give you an instance. One man, this morning, I got something from the Social Security. Maybe Angelica should know what I'm talking about. Even others, I was so happy. One man, this is not my land, and I have not even stored this land up to like 20 years. But if you see the kind of money that these people, say, if I retire now, I'm telling you. So I'm very, very proud of this country.
Another house again, UK, another house.
I was so happy. I said,
property
if something happened to me today, my people will not even suffer.
So you got your statement.
I got the thing, man. I was so mad, man. That's so. My children, at least they're okay.
I'm expecting my own commission, no.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that's the kind of thing that we should be looking up to. That's how the country should have been, because if that country is like that, nobody will be having, even be thinking about this, even if they eat money, But at least give people give people the ground to survive, at least to see a good life.
You see that reference you made to Awolowo just before I was kicked off the thing. You see, that is where the battle actually is, because Aregbesola in his narrative is trying to conjure up the memories of Awolowo, the stalwart of the Yoruba political space, that he is the latest incarnation of that narrative, that he's from the school of Awolowo, Jakonde, and Akonde, etc. And that party that he is creating, his faction of the party, is in line with the ideologies of Awo, etc. So he's trying to be the Awoist, trying to conjure up that name. But Tinubu will tell you that he's an Awoist too. And if you look at Fayemi, he wears an Awo hat. If you look at Yemi Osinbajo, he wears an Awolowo hat. That hat that, if you look at the hat that they both wear, Fayemi, Osinbajo, that hat is the Awolowo hat. If you go and look at pictures of Awolowo, you will see that is his hat. So that the battle in Yoruba land politics is who emerges, or who people accept as the heir apparent of the Awolowo school of politics. So that is where that battleground is, and that is where Aregbesola is fighting from. He's trying to be the Awoist in the Osun State APC narrative.
I think what UK is saying is that why can't they govern and better the life of the people?
In the spirit of Awolowo.
As Awolowo did. That is what UK was saying. That why can't they do that? You understand? It is not looking like Awolowo, or showing as if you are talking like Awolowo, but you could not act like Awolowo. But act and better the life of people the way Awolowo did.
But is that not Aregbesola's argument that he's a people-centric Awoist, whilst Oyetola, by extension, his daddy, they are just opportunities and interlopers? So he's trying to paint that story that he's the Awo people's person. Because you know why they try to use Awolowo so much? Is because the Yoruba space thinks, and based on history, they know that Awo is a development grassroots sort of person that has a master plan for Yoruba land and by extension Nigeria, which just would develop an economic viability and a social welfare sort of governance that just looks to the last man. Nobody is left behind sort of politics. So that's the Awolowo trajectory. So what I think Aregbesola is trying to do in Osun State is to say that, look, the policies of my governance and my intonation and outlook is that Awoist thing. And he's then trying to, if he owns the Awoist space, then he pushes Tinubu and by extension his godson as the opposite of. So I think they are playing some sort of Awoist something, is essentially. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
But one man.
Yeah.
My question is that these people that is fighting one another, weren't they born during Awolowo time? That's my question.
I'm not sure if they were robust enough to have had any real understanding. I think Aregbesola will be around about 59 thereabout. Fayemi round about that age, Osinbajo 62.
They were in their youth now. They were in their youth. I mean, if you calculate the years now, I think Awolowo, I think he died.
Was Awolowo not 50 years ago? How long ago was Awolowo?
No, I think he died 85 or 80, 87 or 80 this thing. But I don't remember, but I was still small, but I was still very, very small.
Okay, you have memories of him too.
Yeah, but I knew when Awolowo died, there was a national public holiday that day. When he died, they say Awolowo, we are thinking, who is Awolowo, But for now that, based on this your platform, at least, and I've been reading something about him. The man, he's a pace setter. He's a pace setter. I mean, everything he had, he planned. He's supposed to do in Yoruba land. Let them follow it now. It's the same plan.
If you look at what Awolowo did, Awolowo, he had this farm. I think Ajale Koko might remind us what it is. He had a food strategy and then he had this. They were evolving. They were developing a Yoruba cattle, which was a breed of the Bororo cattle from the Chadian area, and a mix of domesticized cattle, because the cattle in Yoruba land then, they were somewhat stumped. It's a bit like a pony and a horse.
Yeah, we have it in Igbo land. We call it Epibo.
So he was trying to develop a breed of that. And then he developed mass communication through bringing television radio service via Ibadan, education. What he wanted to do, Awolowo, was to educate as much of Yoruba land to a baseline of education, so everybody at least school starts, and higher. And with that education, they can then take possession of the resources of the land and evolve it to create wealth. And he was doing it. So if that had followed through, can you imagine?
Okay. Do you know that while I was in Nigeria, don't you know that I wanted to go to school in the West? Because when I look at my cousin that went to school in the West, I mean, they are very bright, Anna. I'm not saying that in eastern part like people are not bright, but there's a difference in Yoruba.
You know what that difference is? That difference is because the Yoruba space, it opens its space up to all comers. So if it opens the space up, if I am there, you are there, Usman is there, and Sally from the Creeks, they are there. So we are all, we'll just automatically will be sharper, brighter, because we are learning all sorts of cultures and all sorts of thinkings whilst learning the books as well. But if it was just me and Najan Lekoko just studying in Yoruba land, and Mike and Baba Kure, then we wouldn't learn as we would if we had you and Usman and everybody else in the same class.
Let me talk to you, one man. Do you know that when I took my WAEC and JAM, my first choice was Ilife or Ibadan. That's where I wanted to school.
Yeah, but that's because you wanted to run away from home now.
I wanted to run away because I know once you step
you wanted to escape home.
No. But once you step your foot in Yoruba land, do you know that to travel out of Nigeria is very, very easy? Don't you know that, one man?
Oh, okay. So that was your
That was my move because while you are in school, you begin to make some contacts. You begin to make some contacts. You begin to make some. I mean, that's how you live. And so many Igbo people, who knew what I'm saying? That's most of them. That's how they travel. Because I remember that time there's an Igbo guy who's school in Ibadan. He will be in Ibadan. They will be bringing them from like to register for like scholarship to study in abroad. Which other part of the eastern place do they do it? They don't do it now. I'm telling you, you go to Ilife, you go to Ibadan, you go to maybe Lagos. They will bring form. Like people, like if you want to study in abroad, you fill out this thing. If you have this thing, then they can give you scholarship. But I never all through my this thing in Igbo land, I never see that. It never happened.
They don't have a scholarship system that is government based.
If they have it now, maybe it's for their children now, but not for ordinary people. But at least for Yoruba land, you can see it. You can see people will be be feeling it.
The real travesty in Yoruba land is that everybody in governance now, they were all almost to a man beneficiaries of the Awolowo Jakonde free education system up to tertiary level. From primary school, they'll fund your education until you graduate from university. All of them, all these Oshibanjo, etc. And now, haven't then taken advantage of that system to make the most of their lives. They're now shutting down that system and making it so expensive so that we won't have somebody like them coming through anymore, because it's only the sons and daughters of the rich now that can get an education in Nigeria.
So that is all everything we are saying. That's what I was trying to say. Why would they be doing that? Even as if there's more money in the system to them compared as of that time. But the man, Awolowo tried to manage to make sure he used the resources usefully, to better the people. Now that they are making more money, why then can't open that space, so that people they will better their people.
I don't think it's wickedness, by the way. UK, I think it's just greed. I think they're happy for people to be educated, but they're so gluttonous in the looting. They just loot so aggressively.
It's wickedness because I can't say it's greed. It's wickedness and greed. Because if you're not wicked, you always give people, you always make it, easy for people, because you have made it in life. So why don't you open the space for other people to, or put a policy that will favor everyone, from even the ones in the rural area.
I mean, if you take this headline, for instance, UK, 165 billion prison funds, reps probing Gbajabiamila. So 165 billion, but how long? That's just within 2 years. And why so much? So they've given us all of these monies to repair all of the prisons, because the prisons, they're just like death traps. It's just 150 to a room. So they've given just all of this money just to rebuild the prisons, to bring it up to modern standards, etc., etc., and the welfare of the prisoners and the staff. 165 billion naira. But now they've gone to the prison. They not only have they not seen anything, it's actually worsening than when the money was released. So this is Aregbesola, of course. So he knows that the prison has to be fixed, but the greed, just to loot everything. This is really,
looting the money. Where is the money? Because when they look the money and come and bring it overseas now, the government of overseas will use the money. Even at the end, they will tell you you can't take more than $10,000. That one is sure. All they do, they will just come and buy a house.
That's why I laugh when people like David Cameron is saying that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. Nigeria is fantastically corrupt, but who facilitates it and where is the money parked?
It's them now.
It's in the UK banks now. Yeah. And they are using it to build roads and hospitals and train stations for yourself.
And also use it for their own trade. I use it for their own trade. Well, I don't know. I don't know how.
It's self-hate is what I think we have.
It's true.
Or inferiority complex, or one of the two.
I keep telling you,
or both,
that our people, they don't like the country, Nigeria. They hate the country.
But do they hate themselves? Do they have?
Yeah, they do. They do hate themselves. Yeah, because if you don't hate yourself, when once that kind of money come, you put the money into action. You know, you begin to work. You begin to work with that money because that is exactly what they expect from you. That money is too much. 160 something billion to fix the prison.
In
it's
2 years, so
it's too much. It's I mean, is it not even people's budget? I mean, like 2 countries from our neighboring country.
Yes.
3 countries, you know, just to fix prison, and they can't do it. And that prison, these criminals, you guys are even, because the money they give you so that you can reform them, you know, you can reform them. Even the prisoner, they can even be working while they are there. They can be working while they are there.
You know that the Nigerian prison, they have a feeding budget, but if you go to the prisons, if your family don't bring food for you, you'll just starve and they'll throw your body into a
the
mortuary.
even the environment where they put all of them, squash all of them. That's why a lot of, if you go to prison in Nigeria now, within if they release you, you won't even last, because you will die because of so many diseases. Except maybe your family,
your body will start to flake. Your all these things will start to protrude from your, and then your eyes is red. So you can't see anymore. You are weakened, and it's just they let them just shoot them rather than, that's a slow death, isn't it?
Making them that way, you know, because they don't have, like as you said, we hate ourselves. We don't have respect for human life, you know, so they don't even care. But I think time shall tell.
You know, UK, it's always puzzled me, and it continues to puzzle me. So yeah, Malam Bantuti from Adamawa, whatever, they make you a minister, and then you loot about $2-3 billion, and then you go and buy a mansion in Saudi, a whole estate in Dubai. So now, when you get to Dubai and you are buying all those estates and everything is well laid out, like Aladdin, you know, like like Aladdin, like Narnia, you know, like some, you know, heavenly sort of place. How do you think that came about? They invested in that space, and when you are buying that estate, what do you think they are thinking of you? They are saying yes sir to you, but they are just thinking, look at this, just this
you are a very foolish
animal,
person.
you know,
Yes.
You know,
even like me, I mean, that is why when I look at,
and then the Yoruba man that will steal and take it to London as well, and the Igbo, so not just enough. But
I know. I know. I mean, the thing is that I think these people that went into power without any, because some of them, they didn't struggle for those power. You know, they were just use GPT. You know, because they didn't work for it. Because anything you work for, well, once you get it, you feel satisfied and you do the right thing, you know, at the right time, because you know how hard it is for you to get it. But for them, they get it as a platter of gold now, because they didn't work for it. You know, could you imagine somebody who enter into policy in Nigeria? By the time the person is even 2 years, he will begin to control so many. You begin to. I mean, what's the sense of going? Even that's why they make people who went to school as if they don't even know what they went for. You know.
You know what I think, UK? I think these people are actually looting for sport now. It's like a sport. So let me tell you what I mean. So Atiku loot, and he goes and buys like a whole estate with about 30 houses, 40 houses in Dubai, and he's gifting it to girlfriends and gifting it to use, and it's just like a godlike figure. So the next one now that says Atiku with an estate with 10, 15, 20 houses, he's not now satisfied to just loot and go and buy a mansion. He wants to beat Atiku. So he will loot as much to go and double Atiku's estate in Dubai. And then the next one wants to match up. So they are looting now for sport, not to just to get rich anymore.
But are they worthy even to come out and say that they want to lead Nigeria? I mean, that's my question. Are they worthy? That's the question I ask Nigerians. These people, are they worthy? People who doesn't want to invest in the country, you know, to use that money they steal now. Okay, you steal the money. Use the money. Even if you go to your village and use that money to develop everywhere, people come from other part of the country to come and work. I mean, it still makes sense. You know, it still makes sense that you are the one that the company belongs to you. That's why sometimes when I look at, you know, like sometimes people go against Dangote. Yeah, quite sure he has his own, but at least he puts most of the things in the country too. You know, yeah, quite sure. I mean, he has his own this thing, but at least you can still see it that he do it within the region now. At least people can come from anywhere to come and apply and work.
You know, I've often wondered that Nigeria, if they can grant the looters amnesty on one condition, that you can keep all you looted, but bring it back internationally, bring it into the Nigerian economy, and you can keep the money. Because the value within the economic space of Nigeria, is sufficient enough to still propel the state, the space,
Yes.
you know, or it's just, I don't know, man,
But
because
but
they are hitting us twice. They
yeah,
steal the money and then
yeah.
they take it abroad.
So
So the value that the money has, we don't get it, and the money itself, we don't. It's just,
another question I want to ask.
yeah.
This country they take those money to. Have you seen any politician in that country bring anything shishi into our own country to come and
No,
build, or to come to Abuja where they say Abuja is heaven, to come and build, or to come to Lagos to build? That's
no,
my question.
they are not idiots now. They are
Why
not idiots. Where are
why
the
is it
idiots?
that Nigerians, our will never do? Because I mean, even this election, why don't we look for somebody who love the country, who can invest in that country and make him the president if the election will hold? That's the question I want to ask
You know
Nigeria.
that person you just described, he could have been Buhari, if Buhari had not, because Buhari had everything for greatness and he just failed himself. Because the Buhari narrative, as we know, is a Spartan man, is a disciplined man, is an incorruptible man, is a strong-willed man, and is a man of the people. So if he had all of those five things for the greater good, he would have been the greatest Nigerian that has ever lived. He would have been, you know. But he just went with tribe and religion, and he just released the hounds of hell. But,
Okay, so
uh,
let me allow Ajali Koko to say something.
all right, thank you, UK. So Ajanle Koko, so to you then, this is a storyline that we have been discussing for the last couple of days, and the opening salvo fired by Aregbesola mocking Tinubu, and we were wondering who would write to Tinubu's rescue. The Owa Obokun of Ijesha land, the first to throw this first stone, and Gbajabiamila now brings out the knife for the kill. 165 billion prison funds. Reps probe Aregbesola days after attacking Tinubu. This is what they are saying.
How are you, one man? UK, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay. It be like say the work you get as it be these days. They see your face again.
No, it's because sometimes my my children, I help them out for their homework.
Okay, I know the way
Yeah.
it's not easy. When you have young kids like that, you have to you have to be there for them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, let me respond to our sister Shld in the commentary section. I can see her saying there that Obasanjo ruined Nigeria. How did Obasanjo ruin Nigeria? You are lying to yourself now. How did Obasanjo ruin Nigeria? When Obasanjo was head of state, was Nigeria like this? Is it not your brother Jonathan that ruined Nigeria? Is it not his failure that led us to where we are today? Why are you trying to blame Obasanjo for the problem that your brother created? Is it not your brother Jonathan that was so incompetent and cannot so allow corruption to flow during his time, and Nigerian decided to kick him out? And you are lying to yourself. You think you are talking about Obasanjo ruin Nigeria. Just stop that lie. You are lying. So let me go to the main point. One man. Aregbesola, well, the game that is playing out is good for us, the people. It is good for them to fight and tear themselves apart. Maybe they will start revealing their secret, what they have done behind the scene, that what they have done all the shady deals that they have done. Maybe they start revealing it and, revealing their secret of bad thing they have done against we the people. So the fight is good. That is why I support Aregbesola. I don't want him to back down. I want him to remain focused. I want him to continue the
Do
fight.
you think he's fighting a righteous fight or a fight of self-interest?
Well, politician in Nigeria fighting a righteous fight, I don't know. But I know that he's fighting for his political relevance.
Okay, so self-interest.
Yes.
Is after Tinubu's crown in Yoruba land?
No, it's not after Tinubu's crown. It's just trying to put a stop to Tinubu's dominance over him. I think he has served Tinubu for a long time. But
Tinubu has
just like
served him more. Who served who more?
He served Tinubu.
More?
He's been more committed to Tinubu from day one. He was the campaign manager of his campaign. I mean,
Yes.
He was the campaign director of Tinubu.
Yes.
Before that drove
So
Tinubu.
he was a bag carrier to Tinubu, and as reward, Tinubu gave him a commissionership in Lagos State for 2 terms, 8 years, the most cushy job, infrastructure. And after that, Tinubu made him governor 2 terms, just for being printing posters for campaign.
No, you can't say it's a bag carrier to Tinubu.
Yeah, it was more or less. That's more or less the role now.
No, you can't say that because a person who is a campaign director, that is a capable person to lead a campaign, to direct a campaign. He is a very competent person. So Tinubu knows him as a very competent person, and he did a very good job that, won the governorship for Tinubu, and he got rewarded for that as a commissioner for works in Lagos for 8 years. And very, very loyal guy, and he demonstrated it throughout.
Very, very loyal.
Yeah, very loyal to Tinubu. Yeah,
are
very
you
loyal.
Sure about that?
I'm telling you what I know. I know them. Very loyal to Tinubu throughout his 8 years. And, Tinubu knew him well. That is a loyal guy. That is why he sponsored him to Osun to go and become governor over there too. He knew his loyalty. If he's not loyal and if Tinubu does not trust him, he will not sponsor him to be the governor. So,
and is it that loyalty we are seeing demonstrated now?
Let me tell you this: he's loyal to Tinubu, and that is why he accepted Tinubu when he was governor. Tinubu nominated his brother to be his chief of staff. The present governor in Osun State was Tinubu. Tinubu brother, and Tinubu nominated that one for him to be the chief of staff, and he accepted it. That is loyalty,
right,
to the boss. And he was there for 8 years.
Is that loyalty, or was that Tinubu was going to make him governor, and the conditions was that this person comes in that capacity? So that was the trade-off. Now it was a trade-off. Now it was that was for his own self-interest.
Can I tell you something, woman? If he had wanted to fire that guy before he left office, he would have done so, and nothing would have happened. And he will have established himself, because being in control as a governor, he will have established his political stronghold.
Who controls the assembly? Who controls the assembly in Osun State?
What do you mean by who controls the assembly?
Governor. Tinubu controls the assembly in Osun State.
What do you mean by who control?
Tinubu sponsored most of the assembly members in Osun State.
Forget about them. Governor have power to dictate whatever he wants for the assemblyman. You don't see what this guy is doing in what do you call it? in Edo State. They have 24 members assembly men. He fired the rest of the only 9 that that are in control. 9
Are the
assemblies that are
assemblies
passing
not
budget.
elected members?
They were elected members.
Right,
But
yes.
yes, they are elected members. That's what I'm saying. Look, Nigerian situation is not a normal situation.
So
Governors in Nigeria have turned themselves to God.
what I'm saying is, Aregbesola, Tinubu could have impeached him if
He
he had
cannot. If he try it, he will have subdued him because as a governor.
subdued him. He
Yes.
controls the assembly. The assembly
What are
can
you
impeach a
talking
governor.
about?
Can the
What are you
assembly impeach
talking
a governor?
What are you talking about, governor? You think it's easy? Except a governor that is foolish that will be impeached. You don't know the way he works out. You will kick their ass. They won't be able to gather. They won't be able to hold that session for impeachment. And no matter what it's going to be, it's not going to be the entire assembly that will be on the side of impeachment. Some will be loyal to the governor too, and they can use that. You'll be getting all their information and their. Don't you see what what's the name of this guy in Edo State did when they were trying to impeach him? He went and opened the roof. He took off the roof from the assembly and locked the gate. They can't gain entry. Look, there's a way to do it. Yes, you could have the control of the assembly, but I mean, Oshiomhole had the control of the assembly. He had the majority people of the assembly, and they actually wanted to kick this guy out. But it treated them the best way he could treat them, to show that, look, I'm the executive governor. Don't mess with me. I can even use the police to harass you. I can use all the power I have to harass you whatsoever. So what I'm trying to say here is that Tinubu nominated his brother to be his chief of staff, and he was there with him for 8 years. That is loyalty to Tinubu. And after he was leaving, Tinubu told him again, hey, let this your guy, your chief of staff, be the next governor. And this guy accepted again. That loyalty to Tinubu is unreserved. This is a strong loyalty. So, but now, when Tinubu brother assumed office and all his own power, you're trying his political structure in the state, you're trying to cut it into pieces and then to reduce him to nobody politically. I mean, so he will fight. He will fight. Tinubu shouldn't have go to that extent to destroy that guy, political structure in the state. He should have called his own brother, hey, we cannot do it like this. You can't do this to your former boss. You have to be loyal with him. You have to work together with him. I don't want it. I don't want a betrayer. Don't act like a betrayer. So what happened, if I could guess right, is that Tinubu have gone far to destroy the political relevance of that guy in that state, and that is why this problem, we are seeing all this, yab me, I yab you.
And from Aregbesola's speech, which I read in totality, he was indicating that they can move somewhere else. So he's saying that he can essentially move his structure to another place, which will be the PDP, I'm assuming. So if he moves to the PDP, how much of the APC would it take with him? And would that then, because a lot of people are signaling they are just speaking to the end of his political career. He's not going to wrestle Osun State out of the hands of Tinubu. That's not going to happen. Oyetola will be returned. And when Oyetola is returned, that will be the end for Aregbesola, because Buhari coming to an end is tenure. And then he will go into political obscurity after the next 2 years, Aregbesola.
Let me tell you.
If not to jail.
Let me tell you this. That statement, I could interpret it in 2 ways. Number one, like what you said, that you want to move to PDP, and number two, I could interpret it that it's detaching himself from Tinubu and, and form alliance with some other group uh, uh, from at the national body of their party. Some other group at the national body of their party, and not Tinubu anymore. So it could go either way. But if that guy move to PDP, believe me, one man, PDP will win that state. There's no way APC will win the state. PDP will win that state because PDP have a very strong hold in that state. And as a matter of fact, the last election, PDP actually won. We saw the way they rigged Adeleke out, or what's the name of that candidate of PDP? We saw the way they rigged the election. It was rigged. In the favor, they used the federal might.
The dancing senator.
Yeah, they used the federal might to rig the election. So PDP is a very strong party in that state, and people
but the PDP structure belongs to the Adeleke family. They are not going to surrender it to Aregbesola.
They don't need to.
And they are not going to share it with Aregbesola. And they might not even want Aregbesola in their party because they know his quantity. They know he would not be satisfied with just being a stakeholder. He will want to take over.
No, he won't take over. But
is that not what he's trying to do in APC? Well, they know what it's like now.
No, let me tell you this. The way it works is this. He will join PDP to kill APC in that state. So, and if PDP, Adeleke, are not selfish, they could share position among themselves and forge a very strong party or coalition in that state against Tinubu influence, in the state. So it's, you see, a politician. Let us go back to history now. It has happened in Lagos State. It happened in Lagos State before, during the Third Abrupted Republic, during the SDP and NRC. SDP is a majority party in Lagos State. SDP won all the assembly position. But when it comes to governor, just because Jakonde candidate was not a candidate that majority of members in the party agree to be their candidate, they decided to vote against their party. And that was what brought Otedola to the position of governorship. They carried out anti-party vote on the governorship election. They voted against, they campaigned hard in Lagos State for people to vote for Otedola against their party. And that was what happened. So they could do that the same way in Osun State. It's just to kill the enemy. Let us kill the enemy.
What does Aregbesola want?
Political relevance. That's number one.
Okay. What does that mean? He wants to have control of the state. That's what he wants.
Yes, he wants to have control. But
if he cannot get it at the APC, and it crosses over to the PDP when they know that is what they want, and that, like you said, traditionally a PDP state. So are they going to let him in? And the Adeleke family, who control the PDP and traditionally the state, are they going to allow him the space to come in, knowing full well that is somebody that they would not be able to contain?
They will let him in.
To
They
come
might not
and
give him the.
take over.
No, not to take over.
But he's going
They
to try
will
and
let.
take over now. We know he
No,
wants to
it's
take
not
over in
possible.
APC.
No,
They are
no,
not
no,
letting
no,
him. So
no, no, no.
is he going to go to PDP and change his mind that he doesn't want to take over anymore?
No, no. Let me tell you this: PDP sees APC as their enemy in the state, right? And him, Aregbesola, sees the current administration of APC, sponsored by Tinubu, as his own enemy too. So both of them at that level, they share the same. They have the same enemy to fight against. So how could they defeat this enemy? That is what is going to bring them together.
Right.
So they want to defeat that enemy. And going forward to do this, they have to work out some agreement that, okay, when we finally get this enemy out of place, how do we share government? So they will agree on what to do. So they won't just do it. It won't just go there and join them and say, okay, let us fight again, and without having its own interest to protect. If we have its own interest, they will work out some modality how they are going to share government. That is where it's going to work out. So it's just to their alliance will be to kill Tinubu political interest in that state. That is what they want to achieve. They want to achieve that somebody cannot sit in Lagos and still control Osun State. And the PDP share the same view as well. They share the same view, they share the same position, and they will work together to achieve it. So forming alliance to kill enemy from outside the state, and then they will work out modalities on how to form government when they eventually take over the government. As long as they are faithful with each other, yes, they could do it one man. It's not something unachievable. They can achieve it, and I believe they will achieve it if they work together. That will be the end of Tinubu's interest in that state.
All right, but would Aregbesola even get to that stage with the way Gbajabiamila is moving against him? 165 billion prison funds. He set up a probe panel to probe Aregbesola, and we know Aregbesola is corrupt. I think we all know that. So now they are bringing out his books now to have him contend with that. So are they looking to keep him busy just for the politics to take place? What are you making then of Gbajabiamila's move?
Let me tell you this. I like that move. But if Tinubu want to use Gbajabiamila to win shunt Aregbesola, I think is playing a very dangerous strategy. A strategy that could work against himself as well. Because Aregbesola, I believe, will have some secret about Tinubu that it can reveal to the public. It can put out there to the public too, that can hurt his presidential ambition. And what do you call this guy? That guy in Lagos as well. Ambode have some document too that it could, So
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. Can I say something? Yeah, what you just picture is exactly what is going to happen.
Yes.
What you just picture, what you just say now is exactly what is going to happen. That Aregbesola is not a dummy now.
Well, I like it. I like him to pursue to pursue the investigation on Aregbesola. I mean, I'd like Gbajabiamila to pursue investigation of Aregbesola. And that will make the job good for us. I mean, that will tear them apart and kill them and expose them and rubbish them completely. I want that because Aregbesola, I believe, if we fight back, and a lot of people, everybody will come out as well. A lot of people that have something against this Tinubu, before you know it, everything will start. Information without spinning out there, and that is the end of his political presidential ambition, and that could bring more problem on him.
Aregbesola will not go unscathed if they go down that route. For everything that Aregbesola has on Tinubu, he is also implicated. If you are saying he was his right-hand man from campaign to governorship, etc., then he will be equally implicated and culpable in most of the things that he can throw against Tinubu. So if he stabs Tinubu, the blade will cut through to him as well.
Well, that is one side you are looking at it right there. But I believe they will hurt themselves, and that is good for us. I don't care if he'll be culpable in anything that is going to reveal against Tinubu, but I like them to play this game hard and then kill themselves politically. That is what I want. So, but if they want to wish on him, it's going to result to this, what Yoruba says, how did they say it? Adete o le fun wara, ṣùgbọ́n lè dá wàrà nù. You see, a leper cannot make milk, but he can kick the bucket of milk. He can kick it. He can kick it and throw it away. So that is how that is what we are going to see. So it will fight back because Aregbesola will not stop, because they want to kill his political base. They want to kill his political relevance in that state. He must surely fight. And I bet you one man, they will fight it hard, and Tinubu is going to be the loser at the end of the day. I know that for sure. A lot of things will come out against him that they have all his secret now. They know him. They know everything about him. They know everything they've hidden for him now. And you can look, if you are a leader, the people that you should fear most are your follower, particularly your close associate. You have to listen to them sometimes. If they need something, you listen to them because they know you, they know you well. They know your strength and they know your weakness. But if you think that you want to turn yourself to God and you want to trample on them and think that they cannot fight, as little as they are servants, they are the one that will easily kill you. They are the one that will easily kill him. So if you think that he can just rubbish this guy and think he's gonna get away free, no, it's not gonna go. It's not gonna get away
okay.
free.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. Ever since Tinubu came out to start vying for this presidential ticket, why is it that I never see Fashola, this Aregbesola, and others, following him? That's my question.
I think just for Fashola is still a government functionary, so he cannot really go that deeply in because all the candidates are in play. So he cannot really declare for. We know he's a Tinubu man, but is a minister of state, so he cannot really come out into partisan politics that aggressively. But when Tinubu gets the ticket, and if Tinubu gets the ticket, then you hear them all lining up. But that's just, I think it's just because really the positions of their jobs, But the ones that are outside of politics is what I'm not hearing enough from, But we heard from Shatima, who's declared for Tinubu, And we've also heard Ganduje declare for Tinubu. We know Sanwo-Olu has declared for Tinubu. Oyetola declared for Tinubu. But the ones at the federal level that hold federal portfolios, by virtue of their position, I think they're just holding steady for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Ajale Koko.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you say now?
No, he was that UK was asking that he's not heard people like Fashola come out and back Tinubu up.
Oh,
And I
okay,
was
I had
I
your
was
explanation. Yeah.
yeah.
I had your explanation.
All right. And do you agree somewhat with it?
Oh, yes. That's why. I mean, it's still in government. It can't be jumping after Tinubu now. The road is not clear yet.
Yes.
It's when the
If it's a
Tinubu
party
secure the ticket.
candidate, everybody will start talking.
Everybody, yeah. So.
All right. So Nigerians should be thankful Buhari is doing them big favors. Yemi Osinbajo speaking to his own politics, painting black as white, telling us that because of Buhari's scrupulous ways and his sincere ways and whatnot, and his honesty, and we should be grateful that he has made the country better than it ever was before. So Yemi Osinbajo painting black as white as usual, as lawyers do.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Well, no matter how bad you will look at Buhari, I think he has done some things that even the PDP didn't even do. I mean, let us be honest. The reason why I'm saying I have an in-law who just came back from the eastern part of the country. He said that he drove from Enugu to Umuahia. There wasn't any pothole. And at the same time, and this road, they have been awarding this road so many years. I think right from 1999, the road they couldn't do the road. Then my own part of where I come from is also a federal road. As I'm talking to you, one man, they are working on the road, which this PDP when they were in leadership, they couldn't do it. When they award the road, they will eat the money. No matter how bad it is, quite sure the Buhari, as you say, he was like more of for Fulani people, not all Nigerians. But at the same time, they are doing something. That's why all I want to say.
Do you think we just blindly hate Buhari just because it's Fulani?
Well,
do you think we just blindly hate him?
The reason why we blindly hate is because of the killers, the killer herdsman.
And him not doing anything about it.
Yeah. Because they really killed a whole lot of, and this Boko Haram, the thing even come in a very full force, which they will say they are fighting. I mean, we don't know which is which now. But in terms of infrastructure, I mean, he has been trying his best. Because if let's say PDP, when they were in leadership for that 16 years, and did what Buhari are doing, I mean, the country would have been in a very better shape, because there was so much embezzlement in PDP. And as we were even talking, nobody have even account of anything. They haven't even held anybody responsible, for that, for the money being looted from up to from 1999 to up to when they left the government. But I mean, for that side, hey, one man.
Madam again.
My insurance is calling me. My insurance
your
is
insurance. Look at that. All right. Thank you. But to what UK is saying, that are we somewhat unfair to Buhari just because he's just some Fulani guy? Do you buy that?
I don't think it's because of that. I don't think it's because it's a Fulani guy. I don't think that is why we are we speak against the way he governed the country. His style of governance, he has demonstrated that he's a tribal leader. He didn't manage the diversity and the unity of that country well. When it comes to sharing, most of the strategic position, or let's say maybe majority of the strategic position goes to his tribal men. A nation should not be governed, a multi-ethnic country like that should not be governed like that. It didn't follow the what is it called in the constitution? This
federal character. Federal character.
Yeah, the principle of federal character. It didn't follow it well, and it didn't. It governed with brutality and force. He have no respect for the rule of law. The DSS, what they have been doing against voices of dissent, like Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, what they have done and killed people. That is what we believe. We are under democracy. We should not be governed like that, and that is why we are. We continue to talk and speak against injustice, against unfairness, against all abnormality of in governance. We have to speak against it. So it's not that we hate him as a Fulani man, but we just want him as a president of Nigeria. What he promised Nigerian people, he should comply and fulfill them. So that is what we are asking for. So PDP to some extent did not do more enough. If we really want to score them when it comes to infrastructure, building of infrastructure, and they didn't do more enough. And the person that had the opportunity to do better on that would have been Governor Jonathan. But we saw the way he ran the country with he perpetrated corruption, and we saw looting here and there. It's some people, because he's their tribal man, we always support him, like Shld.
Like Shld. So mention name now.
Yeah, I will mention her name now. I want to support him for wrong. If he has governed the country well, if he has done well, people will not vote against him now. But he failed in the entirety. He didn't do right, and he governed, and he excluded Yoruba people in his government as well. He was just parading himself around with his people, and some Igbos corrupt politician, and some of the northern corrupt politician as well. They didn't. He mismanaged the place. As at the time that he took over government, there was no debt. For the short time he was there, he incurred about $8 billion in our external debt. He incurred about $10 trillion on our internal debt. So all these things, people saw it, and that's why they voted him out, that we cannot continue this direction. This man is taking us. The insecurity started under him. So what are we talking about? So if he had focused more on the development of this road, look at how many times they awarded that Ibadan and all this road that this guy was talking about now. They were all looting the money. Look at Niger Delta. He was there. What did he do to develop his people in Niger Delta, where they get the oil from? But all of them were gallivanting, they are squandering money, they were looting at the highest spree you can never imagine. And you say we should continue like that? We should not challenge him, or we should not vote against him? I mean, you guys, Shld, you should have to wake up. I think you live in abroad, you know how things work better. We can't say because one person is your tribal man and you want to continue supporting him for ruining the country because it's your tribal man. I don't know what you benefited from him. So just speak the truth and just stand. Let's just stand against all this criminal. But stop lying. You are lying that Obasanjo is the one that ruined Nigeria. Obasanjo make it possible for your brother to be president. If not Obasanjo, you people wouldn't have been smelled the position of presidency ever in that country. If not for Obasanjo, you have to be grateful to Obasanjo and champion Obasanjo instead of you showing hatred because I don't know what you hate in him, what he has done against you. If not for him, NDDC you have today that you created to better the life of your people, that you people were looting all the money instead of spending it for the advantage of your people, you wouldn't have it in place today in that country. What are you talking about? So one man, we didn't hate BUHARI, but the way the direction is taking that country, it looked like it's taking that country on the wrong direction. Economically, we are failing. Politically, we are disintegrating. You know, everything is falling apart in that country, and we have to say the truth. You are increasing. I mean, look at what do you call it? Refinery. He promised that he will build those refinery in 2 years or maybe in 3 years. It's 7 years down the line or 6.5 years down the line. Has he rebuilt any refinery? No. And they keep voting money to refurbish or to rebuild the refinery. It couldn't achieve it, but they are looting the money. So we have to speak out. The way we speak out against Jonathan, we have to speak out against him too. We shouldn't be shy of speaking out against this criminal. So it is not hatred because it's not our tribal man, but we're speaking against him because of the bad governance that is running in Nigeria.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, come in.
Yeah, I mean, see, the level Nigerians are now, I think Nigerians, they don't even think whether you are this tribe or you're this tribe. When you get it right, I think everybody will hear you. I mean, that's the level I think our people are now. Because if you do it right, whether you are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or Kanuri, or wherever tribe you are, when you get it right, everybody will praise you that you get it right. Because for the fact they are not getting it right or they are not doing what they're supposed to do, that is why we are coming out here, keep shouting, because we need a better country, we need a better place. Because we that is outside the country, we see how things are being run. When you go for anything, you see those things. You just get it at very easy. For the fact you have all the information they're asking you, they will do everything without even asking you any penny. But imagine in Nigeria, for you to even get a little thing. Look at. I was watching this morning about this fuel scarcity. I was just laughing. I said, "Which kind? Do you know? Since when I was growing up, that fuel scarcity had been there. Could you imagine until now? I'm even my early 40s. The thing is still there. I mean, which kind country are we? Are we? It's better that the country is being scattered now. People, every tribe take each of their own country and manage, than lumping us together like that. The same year we keep hearing the same thing. Nigeria every year is corruption. Every year corruption. Every year looting. Every year. You see how this country is going to survive one man?
Is the country even going to survive?
Okay. Look at. As I was talking to, it's not insurance people. They call me. I send them a message, just a message that I want this. They just responded to me. to tell you where a country that is run very well.
No, they're after your money. Oh, that's why
no. I know they're after my money, but I mean, they're giving me the service now. You know, when you pay, you get your service. Is it not so? Without any stress. But for Nigeria, you will pay. For you to even get the service is a problem. Look at, I went to do my passport. They said they will mail the passport. They are still mailing the passport till now. While my American passport, they already mailed it for me far back. Is there a country? I mean, sometimes I begin to think. I mean, well, me, I'm not that kind of person.
Does America accept dual nationality?
Yes.
Okay.
So for the fact, you know, we're in a country that even the people that come from that country find it difficult to even eat. I mean, just to eat. I'm not even talking about living a small good life where maybe maybe in the weekend you take your family, you go somewhere and look for sightseeing. When would that one happen in Nigeria? One man.
All right. UK, let's hear from the chap that's just joined us. How do you pronounce? Oh, you've changed it to Mike. So yes, I was struggling in my head how to pronounce that name that you came with, which is some hard from the interior Igbo name, but thankfully to Mike now. So Mike, let's hear from you. You've been hearing the conversation. What would you like to contribute? We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself, Mike.
It's unmuted, but I think it's volume because you can hear the whisperings, but you can't hear the fullness of it. No, maybe remove the thing, remove the headset from the computer and see if that works. We can faintly. The volume I think is low.
Volume, I guess.
Yeah, the volume is low.
While he's talking, I mean, I can.
Yeah, you can
carry on. But whilst he's waiting to sort himself out, Celibi is asking me to tell you of Ajanle Koko, so you are being told off now. It's a one man. Don't you think Ajanle Koko is being too personal? Please moderate the show. Otherwise, people will think you are biased. So I'm not biased, and I'm telling you of Ajanle Koko. Don't be personal. UK, you wanted to say?
Yeah. So no, I mean the only thing. See, one man. All I'm just saying. I mean, the reason why I come, or we all come to this platform, is to make sure that the people over there live a better life. I mean, this thing we comes out every night or every morning to do is for humanity, one man. Because why we come here to say all these things we are saying, I mean, people are hearing our voice. I mean, there's no way people will be in their country and they'll be suffering, you know, and the suffering is not even here. Even people to eat is a problem. Even people to have something to show that I belong to this country is very difficult. That's why a lot of people are running away, you know. So I mean, and the people who are there are the people who enjoyed Nigeria when Nigeria was Nigeria. So why can't they just turn it the way it used to be? Nigeria, I mean, based on how Nigeria have been coming up all along, Nigeria should even be more what it is today, because they enjoy the Nigerian. Because I think people from late 80s downward, they haven't seen enjoyment of any Nigeria. Because
no, that is what we were just saying earlier on, that if they had progressed along the template that Awolowo was starting, you know, the country will be a different.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm just saying we are not here for. I mean, we are preaching. This one we are preaching here is more than that one they preach to them in church, because we are still talking about humanity. It's all about human being. I mean, they are playing with human being, and they said they are playing with politics. Why don't you fix things? The money is there. Not that the country is even lacking. The money is there. Why don't you fix things in such a way that even the common man, even those who doesn't even have, at least will get a small hold of that country. You know, no matter how small it is.
All All right. Thank you, UK. So let's hear from Mike, and then we round off. So Mike, no, we can't hear you. Look at this one. Did you buy your system from the same place that Janle Coco buys
It
his
keeps
from?
struggling. Oh God.
I think it's the volume. We can hear you, but in just faint whispers. We can hear you in faint whispers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not working good for him.
Okay. So, Ali, it's good to meet you, Mike. But you've come in late into the session, and we would like to hear from you, but your system is not. But we will reconvene 9:45 UK time. So hopefully you come and join us then, and by then you would have resolved whatever the gremlins are in the system. So, gentlemen, it's good to hear from you all. We've gone past the 2-hour mark, and I usually like to cap this. Earlier sessions around about that time. So I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on within the comment section, but here I say peace.